privilege that I welcome you all to panel discussion of PRAAJñYAA’25. A warm and heartfelt welcome to our esteemed panelists, whose expertise and accomplishments make them true leaders in their respective fields. Your presence here adds immense value to today's discussions, and we are grateful for your time and insights. I also extend a warm welcome to the students and faculty of our department, as well as those from other institutions. Your enthusiasm and active participation are what makes this event truly special. Let us look forward to an engaging and thought-provoking panel discussion as we explore new perspectives and ideas. Thank you all for being here. In today's fast-paced world, technology is transforming the HR landscape. From AI-driven recruitment to data analytics for employee engagement, the integration of technology in HR processes is reshaping how organizations manage talent. As we delve into our panel discussion on the topic, Technology in HR, are we ready to adopt the change? We will explore the readiness of HR professionals and organizations to embrace these technological advancements, the challenges faced, and the opportunities they bring to enhance efficiency, decision making, and employee experience. Now, I invite Ms. Pooja to introduce our esteemed panelists.
It is my immense pleasure to introduce Karpagam ma'am, who is a dynamic and passionate professional with over 15 years of experience in the HR domain, specializing in advanced learning implementation and HR professional corporate settings. With a Masters in Social Work HR from the Madras School of Social Work and Masters in Applied Psychology from the University of Madras, she brings a unique blend of psychological insight and HR perspective to her work. Currently pursuing her PhD in HR, Karpagam ma'am is a visionary in learning, research and development with a keen focus on creating innovative courseware centered on the Indian women's practices. She has held a significant role in leading organizations such as HCL Technology and Maverick System, and is currently the Chief of Learning Officer at ES People Training Smith, spearheading the L&D business. As a certified POSH trainer and JRF and NET qualified educator, ma'am is dedicated to driving an impactful HR education and fostering workplace transformation. Her expertise and commitment make her an inspiring choice to have as the moderator for today's panel discussion. And we are greatly pleased to have you here with us, ma'am. I now invite ma'am to take the seat on the dais. Next, I'd like to introduce Mr. Mahesh Babu Balan sir, who is a seasoned expert in customer experience and voice of customer management with over 20 years of experience across diverse industry domains including retail banking, investment banking, supply chain operation, customer relation management, e-commerce and IT. Mahesh sir holds certification as NET Promoter, Certified Associate and ISO 9001-2008 Auditor. He is also known for designing and optimizing customer journey maps and enabling key touchpoints across organizations. Mahesh sir has successfully spearheaded across functional initiative, implemented advanced AI-driven tools to elevate customer satisfaction. His work has influenced business strategy and earned recognition for its measurable impact on the corporate growth. As an alumnus of Indian Institute of Management with advanced training in data analytics and project management, Mahesh sir is enthusiastic and passionate about learning and mentoring. I am pleased to have Mr. Mahesh Babu Balan sir as a panelist for today's discussion, and I kindly invite you to take the seat on the dais, sir.
Good afternoon everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our distinguished panelist, Mr. David Ravula sir, Production Manager of Irving Tissue, Toronto, Canada. Mr. David is a highly accomplished paper technology expert with an illustrious career spanning over 3 decades. His expertise and dedication have earned him a reputation as a leading authority in the field of paper technology. He is a true leader and mentor. Please join me in welcoming back our esteemed guest who has graciously shared his time and expertise from morning. We are thrilled to have you, sir. I welcome you on stage now. an accomplished professional with over 15 years of extensive experience in the banking and business process outsourcing industry. Sir currently serves as an officer at State Street, where he has been contributing since April 2018. His previous roles include a managerial position at BNP Paribas and delivery manager at Tata Consultancy Services, showcasing his expertise in leadership process, optimization and organizational growth. A seasoned leader with history of successful project management and strategic execution, Sir's dedication to excellence makes him a role model and inspiring personality in his field. I welcome you on to stage, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to introduce our third esteemed guest, Mr. Ayyamuthu. With over 13 years of rich experience in human resource across industries like manufacturing, banking, shipping and petroleum, he has made significant mark in his field. Currently serving as Assistant Manager HR at Chennai Petroleum Corporation Limited, a part of Indian Oil, Mr. Muthu has played a key role in driving HR excellence. Contributing in CPCL's recognition with the prestigious National HR Excellence Award, a proud graduate of University of Madras and the Tamil Nadu Institute of Labour Studies, his expertise spans policy framing, recruitment, employee engagement and redressal of compliances. We are delighted to have you, sir. I respectfully welcome you on the stage. Our next distinguished guest is Mr. John Sherlin, an exceptional HR professional specialized in learning and development. Currently, he is an HR specialist at Kevin Care, where he continues to drive impactful training initiatives. With prior leadership role in learning and development at organizations like Dalmir, Mr. Sherlin has demonstrated remarkable skills in crafting strategies that empower individuals and align them with organizational goals. A postgraduate from Madras School of Social Work and the Tamil Nadu Institute of Labour Studies, he brings a deep expertise in training methodologies and passion for personal growth. Sir, we are privileged to have you with us today, sir. I respectfully welcome you on the panel.
With such an engaging topic and a vibrant audience eager to learn, I now kindly invite our esteemed panelists to commence the discussion and share their invaluable insights.
It is wonderful to have a lovely audience over here. So we'll make it bilingual as usual. So let me just walk around for a bit. Once I could actually connect with you, let me go back to my place, and you have wonderful people here who would be able to add more value to whatever knowledge you have in terms of technology and its relevance with HR. So HR பத்தி இவ்ளோ நேரம் எல்லாரும் பேசியிருப்பாங்க. ஓரளவுக்கு ஓகேவா புரிஞ்சுது அப்படின்னா எத்தனை பேருக்கு இருக்கோங்க? Raise your hands. Quickly. We have spent half a day on this. So how many of you have actually got a feel of how HR is actually functioning in an organization? என்னாச்சு தமிழ்லயே பேசலாமா ஃபுல்லா? English. Okay, fine. So let's continue with English because I haven't heard anybody opting for Tamil. All of you had your lunch? No, not yet? Okay, right. Then either ways it is time for you, because if anybody could spell the Tirukural Sevikku Unavillatha Bodhu, can you guys complete it? Tirukural theriyuma varuma varada? Yarukume varada? Can somebody tell it loud? One person? Guys, only if you guys support it would be interactive, because this is post-lunch panel discussion. We would require your support. Can anybody complete this Tirukural? Sevikku Unavillatha? Yes, pa. You can. We will help you. Louder, please. Illa, tappu. Vera. Yes. Who else? Quickly. Let's not stay in this thing for a longer time. We have so much of information, content to share with you guys.
வாய்க்கு உணவில்லாத போது சிறிது வயிற்றுக்கும் ஈயப்படல் வேண்டும்.
Thank you, Professor. So, see, exactly the couplet means that when you don't, people can, Professor sir, thank you so much. So when we don't have food for the thought or through the ears is the time when we will have to have food for us. So if you have had your food, that's fantastic, and if you don't have as well, that is equally fine. So let's get into a engaging and interactive session. So I have another quick question. This is not relating to any literature or Tamil. Can we have our attention here? So how many of you have watched the movie Robo, Tamil Robo movie? Okay, so there would be a traffic police scene in which Rajnikant would be interacting with the traffic police. I would not want the exact verbatim of it, but then if you can tell what it is about in a shorter way. Can somebody try it? It will not go wrong. So can somebody quickly try, and you have a small gift for that as well. Yes, one of you quickly try. What was the dialogue between the traffic? Because it doesn't use its judgment. Okay, so there are different aspects of it, aspects of technology, AI, HR, and interaction between all the three in decision making. There are, as usual, there are equal number of benefits as well as disadvantages. It is actually up to us to use it to the maximum. So let me move on to the panelists and we will start the discussion. I had a lot of questions, activities and all, but then looks like it will take some more time for you guys to warm up. So I'm getting back to the session, and if I see you guys warming up, we'll start with an activity again. Okay, so sir, first sir, what according to you is going to be the future of HR and AI, and in terms of your experience as production manager, so what would be the link do you see?
Actually, I'm in the field of production and engineering. So we look up to the HR to hire the right people with the right skills. And it is a most tedious job to find the right people for the right job. And once they find the people, our role comes to see the HR makes sure they have the right qualification job. Our role comes to see how fast they can adapt to newer situations, newer developments, and newer systems. Because in the production, we always keep upgrading our systems, improving the faster production and improving the targets and improving the production levels. So we want to see how a candidate quickly adapt to system, how quick he's in the learning. So that's where our role comes. And if you have the education qualifications, and hiring is one part, and retaining the job is also one part, but adapting to the newer systems and learning lifelong, that is the real challenge. And if you adapt to that, then you will succeed, even with AI or even with the modern technology.
So how do you think actually AI can attribute to the learning aspect?
AI will improve the efficiency of our production systems. We learn and we adapt, and it is we who give the input and we give the data. AI doesn't generate its own input or data. We give the input. Ultimately, we are the ones controlling. AI is not controlling us.
Exactly. Thank you so much for the input. So AI is actually the supporting aspect, but the core still remains with us. True. So, Mr. Mahesh, can you share your perspectives as to what is going to be the future of HR, AI, and all those, the entire technology domain?
Wonderful. Good afternoon, everyone. See, from my perspective, right, so I've been into the industry, banking, retail banking, and then the IT sector. See, the one thing is, we have a famous comedy, right? So, Velaya Kravam Poi Solla Matta. Have you heard that comedy in Tamil, like in So the people say, okay, this person, genuine. So AI, what it does is that before AI, everyone were like, okay, for example, you have 100 resumes, and out of that 100 resume, you pick two candidate or three candidate based on the judgmental of human. Now, what's changing? Right? That's again questionable. How did you select this candidate? Even for promotion. So, if there is a candidate who is eligible for a promotion, if the promotion is given to X member, there will be a question in the organization, which is obvious because it's a human. How can you give it to that person? Because see now, what AI does is that very simple, right? AI has that influence of coming out from the bias. That's first and foremost thing. Now, it's not human who is going to decide who will be the candidate. It's going to be the system. So you would have heard the resumes are getting selected based on the AI system, right? So there is a AI in it. So based on the skill set, based on the capability, the right skill individual will be picked among those 200 or 2000 resumes which are getting processed. Similarly, that won't be questioned because it's a machine-driven algorithm. Second thing is, very important is that when a candidate is for a promotion, a lot of information, a lot of data is there. All the data is fed into the AI systems. Now it will clearly tell in the organization who is eligible, who is performing well, and all those things. And one other important thing is on L&D. See, many people think L&D and HR are two different things, right? So no, L&D is part of HR, human resource. Learning and development, traditional way of learning and development is you have a communication skill, and that communication skill is pick and match to everyone. I have my content, and that will be delivered to all the people, production controller, sales people, the finance, everyone. But what AI does is that it will look into each segment. For sales people, what is that communication is all about, right? For him. So you need to have the customers there. You cannot be rude to the customer, even the customer is rude. You cannot behave rude because sales will go off. So the communication needs to be adjusted based on the domains we are into. So first, it will remove the bias. Second, it will have a big transformation in the L&D department. And the third one is that you have a, more like a mission algorithm behind everything what you do. So which means that it will have a big impact on the HR space is what I think. There is a myth, AI will take over all the jobs. AI is a, threat. AI is not a threat. So as Sir said, it's all AI is driven by a mission algorithm. Again, it's developed by a human, right? So it is going to complement everyone's work, especially in the HR industry. We will see a big transformation there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And from your input, we understand that AI is going to save a lot of time, and which HR and L&D professionals would be able to use it in a much better way for very quality items which would actually require their attention. So where does this removal of, just let us finish off this one, and then I have my own thoughts of how is it going to address the anomalies which exist. Because see, for example, if the AI is going to identify somebody as not suitable, but their skill set might be useful for some other project in future for our organization. So how are we going to handle that? We'll finish off with this and then we'll get back to this question.
Absolutely.
So we'll hear from Mr. Sunoj as to what do you see as the future hope for AI and technology in HR and L&D.
Support of tools is always what we carry on with us. Right from the Stone Age, if you look at it, we use multiple tools to improve us. So similarly, artificial intelligence can be used as a tool which will help the HR process as a process, looking at it as a process alone, not from a human factor at all or an employee factor. Looking at a people factor instead of people factor, looking at it as administrative processes. In HR, we do have a lot of administrative tasks which can be eliminated, because at one point a human doing same activity day in and day out will be tiresome for him. He doesn't have any learning experience. He doesn't get any additional knowledge or anything. So which can be eliminated using the AI tools what is there in the market, which will reduce the administrative task in the HR department. That will in turn free up lot of resources or manpower which the company or any department has. That can be channelized to support the employees. So when I say that, you can look up free up resources. Currently there are HRs in multiple organizations as called as, business partners or, ops partners or production support people. Alright? Food support and, try to learn that of it. AI. So it will definitely have to work collaborative. AI will be there or any tools in the future.
Thank you. And over to you. So what is your take on the future of technology and HR?
As Mr. Magesh said, it's going to play a very pivotal role in learning and development department because recently we are exploring an AI tool which is named as Synthesia. So if you get a chance, you can explore that tool as well. Gone are the days when you have to do much research to develop a content, it will take to put up a storyboard a week time to come up with an exact content. Now what is that you have to do is you have to give a right prompt. If you give the right prompt, in a matter of seconds, 10 minutes a content is ready. So the best part is that you don't have to be in a physical form to execute the training program. So what is that you can do is you will have to just give a recording of yours, 1 minute recording of yours. So that particular tool, what it does is it captures your audio and it captures your avatar. So automatically when you give the content, the avatar by itself is delivering the module. Imagine in your classrooms, you will not need any professor at all. So I don't mean that I'm going to take away the professor's jobs. So
that makes my job as well tougher.
Yes. Even here we can make it the panel discussion using your avatars. We can put it up telecasted using only the prompts. Only just the right prompts you have to give.
But probably our avatars may not be very
engaging. Yeah, that is the catch. It's just missing. The AI is almost capturing everything, but one thing which it doesn't capture is the human element. So
human element.
True. Yeah. So I can see how many of them are listening. I can modify my language according to them. Yes.
But now we are able to actually see.
Yeah. I could be able to see how many of them are talking.
How many are looking at their mobile phones.
How many of them couldn't be able to understand what we are speaking. That also we could be able to see. But AI, it won't be able to do.
They'll actually send a message to their professor probably.
Yes.
So now moving on to you. Thank you so much for that. And moving on to you, Professor. We would like to understand what do you see as AI and education interaction, as in how is AI going to transform the education sphere?
Basically, I don't own an iPhone, but the discussion is all about iPhone 16. So I'm not basically HR, but in the midst of I can understand. So the one thing what it was is before technology, after technology. It was all before the period of pandemic period. The commitment of the students and the resistivity of the students and the students' behavior was completely different before even we are getting introduced to the technology. This module of Zoom technology and other things getting into the education system has changed us a lot. Even the teaching pattern of the student and the learning pattern of the students has completely changed. There was a period of for teachers whereby, as he said, lecturers in தேவையில்லைன்னு சொன்னாங்க. எங்க பீரியட்ல what we understand students தேவையில்லை அப்படின்ற மாதிரி ஒரு கிளாஸ் நாங்க எடுத்துட்டு இருந்தோம். What was happening in Zoom classes now? We all felt like a cinema hero Dhanush when we are taking classes. There was a movie, யாராவது இருக்கீங்களா அப்படின்னு கேட்பாங்க. So that was a serious portion of the teachers during that particular pandemic season. That pandemic season made everyone to understand this www and artificial intelligence, computer, internet, everything. Easily these students got adopted and they were able to access. Before that, when a student is having a mobile phone, he will be seriously warned. Now the student is having mobile phone now, he says that I am preparing for my exams. No books, no notes, no professor, just this mobile will do, Gamma will do for my projects and the Meta will do for my questions. Whatever I am asking you, you may not be able to answer, but within seconds it will answer. Whatever the projects you are giving, I don't need 2 days time, 3 days time. If you have time, I have 1 second. I will take a printout and submit. That is what students are using. So what I feel is, if a student or in HR, if we use AI as our assistant, AI cannot overtake human being. And if you are making AI to be the boss, definitely I don't think so. Human intelligence will be a question. That is what I think. And sorry ma'am, and I have some questions, queries, just as I am in the midst of you people, and you people can write our students in the right way. See, if most of the students will be very much நீங்க சொன்ன கொஞ்சம் கவனிக்கிற பசங்க கூட இதே மாதிரி சோஃபால நாங்களும் அந்த உட்காரணும் யோசிப்பாங்க. ஸோ அந்த பசங்களுக்கு what will be the required qualities if I want to become a HR in my life? What is very, very essential? So if there is some light thrown on that particular area, I'll be so happy. And one more thing is that previously, most of the years I was also in placement.
So understanding the question, so let me take the question first. So first thing, be it for HR or any other department, is genuine empathy. When the aspect of genuine empathy is there, you will win hearts, that's for sure. So once we win hearts, and I was listening to the professor over there speaking on psychological contract. The psychological contract gets executed right there when you establish the connection with the heart. So once that is done, like Shashikant sir was telling, the character becomes strong. So only when the character, it is all connected. When the character is strong, the genuine empathy blooms. Once that comes, and your psychological contract gets established, and that directly leads to retention. So first, when we look in the recruitment itself, when we look at the candidate, first is, have they fabricated their CV? If they have fabricated their CV, it's a clear reject. So இந்த ஒரு சின்ன விஷயத்துல கூட ஜென்யூனா இருக்க முடியலன்னா வேற எதுல இருக்க போறாங்க? இவங்களை நம்பி நம்ம எப்படி கம்பெனி கொத்து சாவியை கொடுக்கறதுங்கிறது நமக்கு கண்டிப்பா மைண்டுக்கு வரப்போகுது. ஸோ ஏஐ உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சதுல நீங்க இப்போ ஜென் ஜி ஆல்ஃபா எதுவானாலும் உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சதுல எங்களுக்கு ஒரு 30% தெரியுமா? அப்ப அதை பார்த்தாலே தெரியும் அது உண்மையா இல்லையான்னு. When you can actually connect with your objective, the objective which you have copy pasted from somebody else's resume, if you can actually connect with the objective and tell me what your objective is and what your focus is all about, that would speak for your resume. And then moving on to your resume itself, we can actually identify what your career path has been, and looking at your entire progression, your hobbies. See, hobbies should be something which adds value to you. It is not about listening music and making Ilayaraja popular. He is anyways popular. Listening music is not going to be a hobby. So when you write your resume, put some effort. ChatGPT writes it for you, but there is a major setback of technology, which is hallucination. It assumes things. It is only you who can do some part of a judgment on it, which the human element he was telling, that has to be there. So your resume has to be strong, you will have to be committed and focused. Once you're done with that, don't try to impress anybody, things will all fall in place. It will all be like a magic. So that is my take on it. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Okay.
Professor's question.
You know, first of all, it just came in like this round, right? So we all were talking about technology, AI, but the moment it came to the professor, he was saying, பசங்களுக்கு HR ரோலுக்கு போகணும்னா what are all the things? That's the human touch. You know, you need to be proud of the professor that you all have, first of all, right? Because it's a thought, right? It didn't come to any of us. The person who is teaching has that thought process. That cannot be taken by any technology, that cannot be taken by any AI, because that's the human inbuilt thing from the professor. Thank you, sir. The question, right? So first of all, human resource in any particular placement, right? So what you need to do, I was just saying the same thing. First, you need to have that academics mark, right, to enter to any organization. That's very important. Then the soft skills, right? The more soft skill for HR should be that some of the skills is emotional intelligence, and then we need to listen a lot. HR used to always listen a lot in any organization. They won't speak. That's why they say they don't do work. The people who speak a lot is in the operations team and then the sales team. So they do speak a lot. But HR won't speak, they listen because they want to listen what's the pain of the employee. So listening skill you need to develop if you need to get into the HR role. That's first thing. Second thing, technology. As we were discussing how the communication content can be taken from the vast source which is there in the internet for fresh candidates. Like HR will listen to the candidates and then what is the content I should give for the freshers? What is the content I should give and deliver it for the experienced people? So we need to have our thought process towards the technology in the shaping the human skills, right? That's very important. And then a lot of things, which comes into the human resources that, like Prashant sir mentioned about recruiting. If you get into any organization, recruitment, we've never seen a person who is recruiting in my organization. I've never seen it. They will be there in the HR role, but we would never see it. What we will see is the human resource people, it's divided into HR who comes out for recruitment, and there are people who sits inside to understand what is the problem of an employee. So that kind of a role is completely different. So for them, they need to listen to the problems, understand, and then empathetic skills. So these are very important if you want to get into the HR industry, groom these skills a lot. The reason is you will get anyway, you all will get a job for sure. Okay, mark me, you all will get a job. But in order for you to sustain in a job, you need to hone these skills a lot. So you can sustain and then get into the higher positions. So that's what I feel.
I will start with what Professor was saying. Sir was saying about somebody who was sitting there, what if they come over the stage? I was in that situation. I came for admission in this college 2006, but I didn't get the admission also because my mark was so poor. But luckily today I'm able to stand here as one of the panelists and addressing the students of this college. Thank you, sir. Second thing, with the AI, earlier when we are child, there is a weight machine in the public place. If you go and stand, it will show you a weight, what is your weight, and the back side of it there will be some, today you will get success, some kind of an estimated information will be there. We will be happy with those information. In one of the movie I saw, they put, instead of a man standing in the weight machine, they put a dustbin in the weight machine, and the machine will give you the weight of the dust machine, and also you will say you will get married soon, like that. So in many days nowadays the AI it gives good information, but if it is not prompted or not feeded, not data driven, it may have some issues in technical some decisions, but not in all the places, in a very few areas. I am working in the last 12 years in the government sector. For me to get into to complete the recruitment process when I joined the government, it took 2 years for me to get into the job, because they are doing in a very old method. I have to write an application, I have to send by speed post with all the Xerox copies. They will scrutinize and they will conduct the examination, then written test. To complete this process it took almost 2 years, but now the situation is completely different. Now what we are doing is we complete the all India basis recruitment process, where we receive more than 10,000, 20,000 applications, and we complete within a month's time the entire application window we have to give. Say for example 15 days or 20 days. Only that is the crux for us. Otherwise we immediately conduct the written test, online test, and we immediately conduct the result, we immediately publish the results, and we conduct the interview also. So from 2 years it comes to 20 days. But for private sectors it is completely different. They can finish it off within 10 days, for 15 days, 20 days also. But because we have some policies, government guidelines, so it is taking some 2 months time. because the government also now started adopting this technology, artificial intelligence system, everything the government is also, if you go to the Indian Railway website also, you will see Ask Disha. It will give you some of the information. Similarly, we are also having a facility like Ask Zera. Means if employee he has to call to the HR and ask, sir, what is the, how do I get the pay certificate, or what is this information? What type of information if the employee want to know from the HR? We have developed a robotic system. If you type that one, the system will give you the reply. This is your last term basic. This is your last month. This is your income tax decision. These are all the pending claims for you. This is your medical bills is pending. Whatever the information, if you want to, you have to call the HR and ask some information. All those informations is available and developed in the Zero boxes. Like this, we are also having now Indian Airport Authority also developed the DG Yatra system seamlessly without, previously we have to carry boarding pass. So now government, what I am trying to say is now government is also fast forward to adopt all the technologies which is coming up. Previously the government is not taking much of initiatives, they wanted to go with the paper and pen based method. Now the government is also moving very fast towards adopting the technology. And regarding the HR jobs, what madam was also saying, there are lot of opportunities available for the freshers in HR, particularly in government sector, lot of people, and they are giving good amount of salary, even CPCL, Chennai Petroleum Corporation, we give for the freshers. Can anybody suggest what CPCL a fresher candidate will get after completing his MBA? Any suggestion? Anything? Any clue? Any idea what we are paying for a fresher?
7 lakhs?
No.
More or
It is very 1/3.
1/3. So 21.
So we pay 20 lakhs for a fresher just after completion of the college. 21 lakhs per annum. So this is the awareness. Even my class batchmates, I force them like anything, but they don't want to write the examination because it takes long time to complete, and they are not aware of the subsystem, the advertisements, newspapers. So even today also we have published our advertisements with 2 years of experience, some engineers. A lot of opportunities are. I request all these new people in the HR field. I am talking of, since I am from the HR background. You will get easily such, because only thing is that you have to compete with the great people, not great people. See, I am from a very, you can say grade B or grade C college only, but I have to compete with the IIMs, XLRIs, TIS, even MSSW. Those people only will compete for this examination. So, if you are competent enough, if you are developing your skills, then you can easily achieve the desired results.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, and from his explanation, few key points which I was looking at for students is they'll have to explore the opportunities. So much of opportunities are available in the market. It is not that only we look at the post which is there in the newspaper and apply, but opportunities are just everywhere, and we'll have to look out for it. And the second one he was talking about is the perseverance which the students should carry. He was ready to wait for such a long time and not give up. So that not giving up attitude is something which is very important for students to get a job and sustain it as well. And the third interesting point what he was telling us, what you actually feed in is what you would get. So if you feed in laziness and lethargy, that is what you would get. But if you feed in efforts, it will definitely give you good results. So that is what I have noted from your points, sir. Thank you so much for your perspectives. And to you, sir, Sunil sir.
So what Prashant asked was, a couple of you guys who were sitting here, they wanted to sit here in an HR, as an HR role or into an HR department. What should be the areas which you should be focusing on? So as people said, it's not only pure emotional content or anything of that human touch. You should understand what are the subdivisions in human resources, right? When I say human resources, in a company, HR has multiple subsectors, if I have to say. One would be your recruitment, a team who is recruiting you, who is finding your resumes online and getting you on board, getting you in, selecting that resume and giving to the business or the company people to recruit you, right? The second department who takes care of you would be, or from from an HR angle would be the onboarding team. Who is onboarding you? The recruitment team is different, onboarding team is different. They are not one, okay? Onboarding team looks after what all documents needs to be collected from you, or how your experience is there for the day one. Have you filled in all forms? Is all your need for day one or introducing the company to you on a day one is being taken care? That is what the onboarding team does. And there is another team called L&D team, which is the learning and development, who takes care of you guys being a freshers. When you get into a business or when you get into a company, you wouldn't be knowing what type of business they would be running in. All right, let's assume that you guys are getting into even HR role itself. HR as into an HR department, you won't know what is recruitment, you don't know what is onboarding, you don't know what is L&D, or you don't know what is comp and ben. Alright, so those kind of trainings, what an individual required is what the L&D team, gives. Similarly, there is another team called Comp and Ben, where we all work for, actively be waiting to listen from them at the end of the month when the benefits are being paid out, the salary payment team. So for that, what you should be looking at, to be in each department, what are your skill sets you should be looking at. If you are looking to go into comp and pen, you should be strong enough with your financial aspects, financial analysis, or your taxation things, how the calculations have been done, how many leaves and all those things. There are a lot of things, a lot of tools and other things, but you should be good at finance. Only then you can get into inside HR, the comp and pen team. Alright? And if you are good at speaking, you are good at creating content or anything of that sort, or you're good at creativity, then you can go and get into the learning and development team, wherein you can teach and you also have a passion to teach. Then you can go and be part of the learning and development team. Or if you are looking at your skill set is going and interacting more with the people and being a mediator between two teams or kind of that sort, then you can be part of the business partner team, which is also.
So just be passionate about something, be it dancing, be it singing, be it anything. If it is HR, be more passionate about HR. Definitely you will be able to excel in whatever the career you are choosing. The second thing which is available as a part of your curriculum is your internships. Yeah. So how many of you are going for internships? Can I have a raise of hands? So no one go for internship? Only one person go for internship. Anyone goes to internship? Okay, some people are going for internship, others are not going for. Okay, fine, still. When you're going for your internship, identify a mentor in that organization. So all of them will be very busy in doing their day-to-day routines. But still, if you could identify one person as your mentor, and if you could able to try to learn something out of them, definitely you will be able to excel in whatever the career you want to choose. So first thing, you will get a clarity in the career you want to choose. Second thing is that you will be able to know what is that you want to actually do in it, and you will eventually know what will make you excel in your career. So by doing these two, definitely you will be able to become very successful in whatever career you are choosing.
Thank you so much, and looks like we are trying to look for a job, and those who are actually looking for a job are little casual about it. Probably they'll take their own time to get into that zone, and they are not into as yet. The professor is seeing them as a children, and they are still like the same. So yeah, so then when the time comes, they'll reach you out, and you have all these tips handy, so you can give it to them. And from his points, I was noting down the point on the passion and the mentor aspect. And definitely some job experience is actually going to help them, which you were speaking about the internship. So from production point of view, sir, what should the children be alert about?
Yes, rightly mentioned about internship. In Canada, they give lots of emphasis on internship. And all the students, most of the students, from the third year and fourth year, 6 months they go to any reputed companies and they work there, and the 6 months they have the time to interact with all departments, and they actually work, and they will be able to, by the time they come out of the college or university, they will be able to make the right decision. So that's they give a lot of emphasis on leadership. And also in the HR, it's not only what you have mentioned, the recruitment part, from our production point of view, we have several teams working with different skill sets, and we sometimes have performance issues and all. So we look at HR department. It's not that once they recruit, the job is over. We look at, and during the conflict resolution or during the performance issues, they always come into play and they show the leadership level, we give a report. And these things AI can't do. These decisions we are supposed to do.
Thank you so much, sir. So that emphasizes that this practical exposure or experience is very useful for two things. One is to identify whether they are fitting in there or not, and second, towards the actual job experience. So that actually adds to their profile. That is of a greater value. So moving on, can we move on back to the topic, sir?
Before we move on to the topic, one last
Sure.
See, everybody's stress is being managed by the HR professionals. And do HR professionals stay away from stress or they manage it?
So do HR professional will have a stress, or how do we manage the stress? We also go through typical situations wherein our targets, we have to meet our targets, we have to complete our KRAs, KPIs, a lot of things are there. But in between, if you have a proper work-life balance, you have to segregate yourself, you have to schedule your time, morning some kind of an exercise or balancing. If you, many of the people will not have even a time to do a small things to balance your health. But in the current situation, particularly in HR field, even in the government sector where we are now, it is a hectic day schedule was there. But still we manage, we plan our things, we schedule our things, and we try to stick to it as much as possible so that we will have me time. We call it as a me time. If you have properly, if you have some me time for you, so the time which you like, whatever you want, you are liking, you can do in that time, so that you can manage a bit stress very well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your take on that. So, if any one of us is having a different perspective on it, let's discuss. So, to your question, all of us go through the same grind. சம்பளம் கொடுக்குறவங்க வேலை வாங்க தான் செய்வாங்க. முடியல எவ்வளவு விட்டு கொடுக்குறோன்றது தான் பாயிண்ட். So, that is about it. All of us go through that. Can I go back to technology now?
Definitely.
Thank you. So, what is that new initiative? You were telling about the new initiative which you have actually deployed in your organization. Like that, can we hear from others as to what is that new initiative, be it in HR or L&D, which we are actually going through in our organizations?
See, year on year, if you look at it, from a human perspective or an employee perspective, you keep changing. See, if you look at it, any company undergoes a change in people cycle once in 2 years or 3 years, because there's a fresh batch comes in, and you train them, and either they stay or the people who train them leave the company. So it's a new company once in 2 years or 3 years in respect to people. Let it be in the production side or let it be in an industry like IT or BFSI. So we will have to look into aspects to keep them engaged. Alright. So every year we do have the surveys rolled out to understand what's the pulse of the employees, so that we know what they require and we can cater ourselves and tailor-made things what is required to that set of people who is coming in new with some fresh ideas. Sometimes people do come in and their requirement might change year on year. It's because every year, if you look at it in colleges or in schools or everywhere, if you look, the set of people, students studying, come up with different mentality. And those people, when they pass out and goes and joins in the company, and their thought process is completely different. That's one reason when you look at it, there's a 90s kids, 80s kids, or Gen Z, Gen Beta, and Gen Gamma, and all things are coming up. Why? The reason because their thought process, their ability to think, or their approach is different completely. So to cater that, each and every company or any organization will definitely have to try and innovate to keep them engaged. So we do we do have a system called rolling out and understanding the pulse, what the employee thinks about the company or what they need it, which will make it better for them to be there in the organization. Because if you look at it, almost all the companies have 8 to 10 hours of working culture, right? And in that culture, if you look at it, it's pretty much their second home, kind of. So to make home better, what can we do? So that's the aspect what we are rolled out in terms of understanding what is recommended, so that we can try to make it better, but not completely gives out whatever they want, but at least to ensure that it is not harming the policies and culture of the organization, but still be able to a better place for them to work.
So employee pulse had been a very positive impacting thing.
Yeah.
And what was that point which took you by surprise rather? So the point which you have never expected would emerge, and that out of the employee pulse.
As again, we are talking about the pulse survey, which is a technology-based survey, and the result out of it is also fed into a technology tool, which kicks you out what is his culture and what is the strength of the company, right? Emotional strength. And there are multiple various questions which we use for analyzing the data. And in that, if you look at it, people on the look of the face, or when we walk across the pantry or when we walk across the reception, we do see that on the floor that people looks like happy and they're smiling out. But particular department where we got shocked that the result was showing that exactly the opposite what we see on their face. So which is a good sign for us to look into the matter deeply and see what can be done to ensure. So again, these surveys are anonymous. Right? We don't reveal the employee's name. It's only that person have taken it. This is what the feedback and this is the outcome of it. So we have come across that, and we did work out. We did call the department head and told them that this is what the areas we should be looking at. There are things like that which you will have to probably change or make it better, so that it becomes easier. There are certain things which you want, but there are certain areas which we can definitely develop or moderately change to meet the employee side as well, rather than not only the company's productivity, but look at the employee's angle as well, softer aspects as well.
Thank you. So early warning signs, and which in turn had actually addressed your attrition part.
Yes.
So, thank you so much for that. Over to you, sir. Yes, Mr. Manish. Please tell me, what is yours being a technology company out and out, what had been the recent development in technology which you have been using in HR space?
Particularly in HR space.
Yes.
See, what we have implemented is, as I was telling you, AI-driven learning platform. So which means that, as I was telling you earlier, that so for example, what would be the content of the training needed for that group of teams, right? So that's more like if depending on the team, the material will get changed, the learning material. So it's a AI-driven one. And then the second one is the mentorship. That's very important, as mentioned. Yeah, it's mentioned that mentorship is something like we used to always lean towards a mentor within an organization. I used to have a couple of mentors who had really shown me the path where I need to go, where is my strength, weaknesses, and he always tell me that focus on the strength, not the weaknesses, because the moment you focus on the weaknesses, you will never improve. Right? Focus on the strength. If you have something good strength, focus on that, so that you will evolve. Like example, Shevag versus Dravid, right? So Shevag has that skill of hitting the ball, and Dravid has this patience to leave the ball. If he gets okay, it's outswing. So based on those, it's a life lesson from the cricketers, right? So you need to know what is our passion, and we need to go. That's something we are doing it in the AI mentorship, which means that if I want to get into a leadership position, the AI mentor will the avatar you mentioned, right? There will be an avatar which comes as a manager to you, like a mentor to you, and it will tell you, okay, listen Mahesh, this is what you can ask. You can speak to the mentor. It's called a generative AI, right? Generative AI is you speak and it will respond to you based on the question. So that's been implemented. And then the other one is the performance management. What we have done is that from the HR, industry, HR unit, they have been receiving a lot of feedbacks from the managers, directors and vice presidents that you are making us to do a lot of administrative work. I think many of you will know what HR will make you to do. So they will tell you, like after a performance evaluation, if you're fortunate, you're having 50-member team, you're fortunate. There are industries who have around 70, 80, 100 people, reporting around. I think right now it's getting changed. But imagine you need to write a performance evaluation for 100 people. Imagine how much task it is. You need to manually write about their skill sets and other things. So that's a big evolution I would say, is because HR listen. That's why I was saying listening skill, right? It's coming from, it's not that director is questioning, vice president is questioning, but even the employees were questioning. Hey, I have done all my performance. Doesn't manager know about it? Why should they ask me to write it? Right? You're a manager, you know it. So what happens is, I think we transformed there. So we brought in AI. So the manager will just need to go through the points what has been highlighted, and he just need to acknowledge it, right? Just that 3 to 4 clicks of thing, he can do the job. And then the final one is, so I spoke about the learning, AI-driven learning, mentorship, performance, and the other one is that very important thing nowadays is that people will not stay in the same role for long, right? It will become monotonous for them. Either they look for a change outside the company, or they will look a change for inside. Smart organization will try to retain the employee within the organization. How they do is, they will say, okay, based on your talent, you have a role in another organization. So there we have implemented AI, which means that you need to just put your skill set. It will tell you what are all the equivalent roles inside your organization. Is it an HR department, operations department, sales department? So the employee can choose from that thing, so that they can choose that particular area they want to do. See, I think almost all the areas we have done that transformation through AI, because now it is part of our goal in my organization that my director came and told me that you need to have 1 point at least AI for this year. Everyone is talking about AI in the industry. We keep 1 point now for AI to be implemented. So it cascades to everyone in the organization, right? So that's how the transformation happening within my organization.
Thank you for sharing that. And looks like your organization, more than taking care of the employee at work, it is looking at employees' development as well. So this mentors can even provide questions which the employee has as in, say for example, how can I improve my focus? Can that bot be able to tell answers to that as well?
Absolutely. And the best part there is it's confidential. The one you are going to ask to the bot, it is confidential. And I am telling you, the reason is I was involved in the testing, UAT testing, and I asked a lot of questions, right? It's again confidential. So to see what is the response the bot is giving me, but I would say it's like 90% accurate. 90% the bot will do it, but remaining I think how we are training the tool, right? It's a machine learning. It's like how we are training it, but 90% is good. But I put a lot of political question, unpolitical question to the bot. So it just scratched his head and somehow it gave me the answer. But I don't think so the employees would do that. But just to test it, I personally know. So it does give it and it is confidential.
That's nice. Over to you, sir, from Canadian perspective. So what is that we need to look ahead of? In terms of production, as well as in terms of international exposure, you bring a very different perspective over here.
So I worked in my present industry for over 20 years, and in 20 years the production has more than tripled, and the workforce has reduced less than half. So what I mean to say is that the modernization, the upgradation, the technology will definitely improve the production with the same level of person or less. But if you have the right skills and right talents and willingness to learn, you will survive and you'll grow. That's the key to success.
So willingness to learn and upskill is very crucial. So from HR perspective, I have a doubt here. So N number of people have been laid off. So what had been their future?
I can't say no, but generally they phase out in their retirement and all. Or they give, if you have the skills, they divert your skills to some other department. The production levels are going up, they reduce the hiring process.
So skilling is the crucial part here. Thank you, sir. Over to you, sir.
We have implemented some of AI-driven platforms in our organization. One thing is we have an LMS for individual development plan (IDP). So in the beginning of the year, we have a set of job description for each roles, and we have a set of questions. It is around 30 to 40 questions. So every employee has to undergo this test, this assessment in the assessment platform. Based on the assessment is carried out, the system will throw out where the gap is. Based on the gap analysis, we develop the training modules. This is not the generic one, it is for individual development plan. So we also focus, based on this, we not only focus on the organization development, we also focus on the individual so that he can grow and the organization will also grow. So this is the one area AI is helping us in developing the individuals. The another area where organization development we are implemented is AI technology is that chatbot. We have a chatbot system, wherein all our HR manuals, HR policies, company manuals have been fed in. If the employee wanted to know any of the HR process or any of the company organization requirements, he can just type it, and the data which is already fed in, it will throw out to the employee, so the employee can be able to understand. So for this particular process, what he has to do, for this particular things, what he has to do. The entire process, entire systems, eligibility conditions, entitlements, employee entitlements, his salary data, everything has been pre-defined and it has been loaded in the chatbot. So the employee need not to come to the HR department, he can always go through the chatbot and get his what needs fulfilled.
So from your government perspective, how comfortable are employees to use the services of AI, because they might have got used to the manual methods?
Yes,
so how comfortable are they?
So we have installed kiosk system. So all our we have 1,500 employees, out of which 700 are officers, 700 are workmen. So these 700 officers are access to the computer. The 700 workmen, they don't have the access. So what we have, the key areas, we have identified the key areas wherein kiosk systems are available, wherein leave applications, is entitlements, is Dropbox, everything is specified in those places, and it is like ATM machine. You can go and whatever you want to do in that machine, you will complete the task. So in that way we are managing.
Thank you so much, sir. So now it is time for questions from the audience. Provided you guys listen to us, you would be able to come up with few questions. Let us understand how many of you have actually listened, so that we could actually gauge it with the number of questions from your side. Over to you guys. Mics can be passed. Probably we can take a maximum of 5 questions. Let's see who the questions are directed to, or in general, anything is fine. We have our doyens here, so they will be able to take up your questions. Thank you so much. Probably I should have started with this questions first, so the hall would have become silent and we could have continued with our speech. So, fun apart, let us know your questions. We are all ears, we are ready to answer. Thank you so much.
How does generative AI support employee engagement?
Okay, what's your name?
Siddhant.
Thank you. Thank you. After a thoughtful thing you raised to us a question, thank you very much for that. So, yeah. it's a very good question. See, generative AI is something, you have that interaction, and then you have those large language models inbuilt, right? Which means that it will speak and pull the data from there and it will give it the answer. See, employee engagement, right? So today, like organizations, I can confidently say many of the organizations conduct a survey. It's called VOW survey, Voice of the Workforce survey. And then the survey results are shared, it's very confidential. The person who responds to the survey, it's not even a manager is able to know who has responded to the survey. So that confidential, I can guarantee this is one of the audit which the company does it. Now what generative AI does is, we are planning, right now we are planning to move away from that survey to have like a generative AI, anytime, anywhere, an employee can voice out. You don't need to wait for a yearly survey. This BOW happens yearly once. But in generative AI, what we are trying to do is that transform that and then get the feedback. Whenever employee wants to voice out, you can open the generative AI and then talk to that, like Avatar is said, right? You can talk to that avatar, you can say what is the concern, and it will be confidential, and that particular thing will answer you if there is some common issue across the organization. It will give you an answer. Otherwise, it will put it in a diplomatic way that it shows to the HR leaders that some of the employees, and not mentioning the name, have this problem. What would be the solution? Then they will put it into their next year goal setting or whatever they want to do a transformation, they do it. But generative AI, there are high plans to do that, in terms of how they. So that's why I'm saying that, the young minds, right, like you, I think it's a golden opportunity which is given by your organization, institution, that we have such a discussion. You guys need to tune your minds towards, that's why I was saying it's a very good question, is because you need to think in that line, right? Because the moment you graduate and go, we will be struggling to find out how to train, what to train generative AI. Young bloods can come and tell me, or my organization, anywhere, right? You can say 5 things you can do it, here is it. So then you will have a lot of value to that organization. Does that answer your question? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And can I have one chocolate given to him? Who is having the chocolates? Yes. And the one to the person who was sitting next to you, ma'am. This boy. Traffic police boy, you can give one, and to him, you can give the other.
That was that guy.
Okay, so give it to him. So he attempted on Tirukural, right?
No. So you needed an AI, man.
Judgment slightly went wrong, but that happens. Yeah.
Human touch.
Yes. So who is going to come up with the next question? Quickly, please. Yes. Can you please tell your name as well? Otherwise, I'll have to address in such a way this boy, that boy, and all, which is not really great. Just introduce with your name, your class, and then you can go on with the question.
My name is Shakti. I'm second year BBA A section. My question is that have you used models like Claude and any other alternatives, Claude AI? And if at all have you used, how is it practically, how is the workflow in your experience according to that? Like Claude AI.
So Cloud AI,
Claude, C-L-A-U-D-E. It's very popular in use of AI and using in business workflows and etc.
See,
if at all you've used it or any other alternatives of the same, how was your
alright, Cloud AI not been used because there are restrictions based on the industry what I work for, because there are a lot of what is it called, GDPR or SEC related regulations on my industry, so I will not be able to use anything unless and until it has been licensed and approved by those industry standards. Okay, so but if I have to say that the AI has been utilized, we use as he asked, the generative AI for understanding the people's requirement, so that we can customize the personal requirement for an individual like you, for example, what kind of questions or what kind of clarity you require in terms of giving more clear picture onto the career what you do, or the type of work what you actually perform on on the floor. Okay, so it's not only within inside HR, but on the floor. HR is always a supportive team which support the business. So from a support perspective, we do have multiple tools with the help of generative AI or any other chatbots and other stuff to understand the individual and the individual's requirement, because what you require might not be same as what I require in terms of the gap what I have. So I might be good at communication, but you might not be, or you might be good at problem solving, which I may not be. So identifying the gaps for the individuals and trying to understand is one of the areas what we use tools to give the individuals specific attention, so that which will prove that we care for you as well, we hear you, right? Which is what most of us look out for. Okay. Hope it answers.
Sure, yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Something over here on the third row, friend.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Vedant, third year BBA. I want to ask, with my BBA degree, will I be able to get another job role like a data scientist or data analyst if I'm having this certificate or anything like that?
Alright, so may I? See, with any degree, whatever your passion is, if you are upskill yourself, you can get into any job. It's not that you have to do a BBA. You can do a BSc also and still get into data science or data analysis if you have studied and understood that process, right? It's not that only BBA can help you out. Even BCom can also help you out. See, degree doesn't matter. The reason why I say is that I do go for recruitment and placement sales, so where I could find that people who have done engineering, all right, for 4 years and done an MBA for 2 years in HR and finance, then joining a banking industry to do the same job what a BCom guy would do. So 6 years spending out and getting into a job where a BCom guy who does it for 3 years or 4 years can also get it. So it's not that whatever degree you can do, but it's a passion you have, and if you are able to upskill yourself to do, or if you have an approach to the data, to scrutinize the data, then you can definitely get it. Alright?
We are quite excited about your question, so you have 2 more people answering your question.
Yeah, and one other update, Vedant, right?
Yeah, Vedant.
Vedant, you know what? I'll tell you 3 skills, or maybe you need to, develop this data analyst or data scientist you said.
Yeah.
So you need to have Python knowledge. Right?
SQL and Python.
SQL and Python. Along with that, you need to have the textual analysis tools, right? Like R is one of the platform. Yes, exactly. See, it doesn't matter you do BBA, it doesn't matter you do BCom, as he said. So what you need to do is, for a data scientist, you are going to deal with lots and lots of data, as the name says, right? So how do you bring the data in a meaningful insights? That's what the Python, R, and those softwares do. So in industry, there is a high demand for Python, and then SQL, and then the R. So that if you really honor your skill towards that, you are studying second year.
I'm in my third year currently.
Third year. So if you complete that kind of crash courses, right, you can enter, and from there you can learn. HR will always there to help you out in learning.
One single point to add to their perspectives. It is about what more can you bring to the table. Beyond certifications, what more? So that becomes the answer. For wherever you are, when you sit in an interview along with your classmates, it's just the what more is going to make a difference. Just focus on it, build that what more. How much ever more is going to benefit you. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Good afternoon, sir. Myself Mahalakshmi, and I am from MSSW.
what will be the role of technology in to promote DEI, like diversity, inclusion and equity?
So, very good question, Mahalakshmi. I really want to appreciate you because I'll tell you why. We have been hearing a lot of questions from this group of people, right? The first person, diversity, you are the first person who asked that question to equalize it, right? So thank you very much for that. See, yeah, there are a lot of things happening in the diversity, and you know what? I'll tell you, in many top organizations like Google, Microsoft, Apple, and also the other companies, what they are doing is they are giving high importance for diversities. And in my organization, there is a percentage given to the directors and vice presidents to have under their employees ratio, which means that you need to have 30-70. You cannot have 30-70. You need to move from 40-60, right? The diversity, because it's been very, very clearly loud enough to the entire globe that we need to have that ratio. Plus, if you're going to be in a senior leadership role, they are looking for female employees first. They are giving preference to them. Then they are giving preference to others, because I have seen in my role that there were 2 candidates and equally, they performed well, but they gave it for the female candidate. The reason is simply because of diversity. So you all have lots of things. I know these many years you were like into the 30%. Now it's a time for you all to come up and fill those. You need to come at like 50-50. That's where equality is all about. Thanks for the question.
Thank you.
So you asked about DEI, right? Diversity and inclusion. This is also been applicable in the HR area when we screen the people or when we start recruiting or looking out for resumes from the market. So there is a definite, as Mahesh said, there is a definite mandate for every company to have a percentage of diversion. It could be anything. It's not that male, female. It could be any proportion. It could be the other way around also. There are certain teams who have 70% female employees and 30% male employees. So that mandate, if an individual is looking out for resume from the market, there could be chances that they are biased and look out for only one angle of it. It's only a one gender focus. This thing. If it's a male manager, he would focus only on the male as candidates. Similarly, for female employees, female manager looking out only for female candidates in her or her team. So to eradicate that, right at the recruitment area itself, people have brought in algorithms to match the DEA requirement. It's mandate that a team's or an organization's structure is split based on the DEA percentage. It's right now it's coming up very evidently in all the industries across India is what I would say.
Thank you. Can we wrap it up, or do we have questions?
Just one point.
Sorry.
So the government, from the government perspective, government is also involved in DEI way back in 1940s or 1950s as well, because it was already incorporated in our Indian constitution, right to equality in the matters of employment. So from that, the government, from our office, we have an equal opportunity for person with disabilities, people, equal opportunity for socially and economically backward classes. So all these kinds of being addressed in the government industry as well.
Thank you so much for your input, sir. Is it time to wrap up? Thank you so much. It has been a wonderful session being here, and the speakers were very insightful, and they have added a lot of additional perspectives and dimensions. I hope it would be useful to all of you. And over to you. Looks like there is one more question.
Somebody had a question. Looks like we missed it.
So I'm Chavi from BBA. So my question is like the AI.
Yeah, go ahead. AI.
The AI's capabilities keeping on increasing in a lot of ways. Before the AI was only for search engines. So now the capability is keeping on increasing and the population is also keeping on increasing. And the recruitment is increasing, but firing the job is also increasing. So everything is like fully collapsed.
Is it firing or filing?
Firing the
removal. You're talking about removal, right?
Firing the jobs.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, firing the employees is also increasing and recruitment is also increasing. And a lot of people are unemployed. At the same time, a lot of people are seeking for employees. It is like fully, equally the opportunity is there and not there. So, using AI and making it work how it works, like getting opportunity and seeing openings wherever it is there, everything. Can I repeat?
No. You are talking about AI is available in the market for.
And AI is replacing people, but we are looking for jobs.
Okay. All right.
So the national income, everything affects.
All right. So there was a session in the morning. I think you guys missed it out because there's a
second session.
There's a completely fresh set of batch. Okay. Right. There was a session called upskilling. Right. If you keep upskilling yourself and you develop and you don't show the urge to learn more and develop yourself, then the existence of yourself is not required at all. Even anywhere if you look at it, even if you're at your home, if you don't contribute, or within your friends gang, if you don't contribute to the conversation or whatever you are discussing, you will be eliminated, you will be set apart, right? That's a nature, that's how it is. So same happens in the employee side as well. As long as you keep upskilling, see, it's again on the corporate angle if you look at it. Corporates are looking out only for getting us money worth out of it. Whatever I am investing in you, am I able to get a return out of it? If I am not getting any return out of it, then company doesn't require it. It's an organism, it's not a human. Alright? But with friends, you will definitely have the human touch and you will keep in relationships, you will have that. But when it comes to an organization, it's all profit and loss, revenue and expenses, whatever I am gaining it, what is my gross profit margin, how can you help it out? That's where it ends up. You have to literally say that, that's what it is. Alright? So, unless and until you upskill yourself and you show that urge, you don't show that hunger to learn more, then definitely there is no place for you that space. You will have to move on. Either you will have to move on or the company will move on.
Okay. This question was employee side. What about founder side?
Founder?
The question is about recruiting people, founder side. Of
finding people.
Founder.
See, I was talking about the company side, from the CEO side. We are looking in that angle. From the owner of the company. As a company, I invest money in the company to get something, alright? And I invest some money in you, training you, and trying to get work out of you. And if you are not giving me result what I require, then you are no more required for the company. Got it? There's some questions out there. Probably we'll take last two. There are two people raising hands. Last two.
Myself Swaminathan, I am from BBA second year. My question is, while you hire a person, you look at his marks or his quality or his attitudes.
See, alright. Probably I'll take it away. See, as long as you have the willingness to do anything, we can skill you up. That's all. You have the willingness to work, then we can skill you up. We will provide the training and we know how to extract work out of it. That's all. To be simple. Hope that answers. Yeah. See, if you have the willingness to work in shift and all those things is what HR asks, and if you say yes, then we onboard you and then we will ensure that we mold you and bring it up what we need.
Thank you.
The last person.
Hello sir, my name is Bhavnesh. I am from BBA second year, A section sir. So my question is that sir said that HR just appoint the staffs and he just take the interviews. That is the work he does. but I want to know what the actual work that he does in the company.
Good question from last side, okay?
Thank you, sir.
I think you were sleeping all this while.
No, sir.
I bet you were, because or you were not listening or you were chatting with your friends there.
No,
So I did explain what departments are there, and it went on for a good probably 5-10 minutes.
No, sir. As sir said, they are just sitting on, putting their legs on. I want to know what actually they work. As of the selecting the candidates for the company or something else after the.
My dear child, I'll address you.
Your Professor Prashant will answer this.
விடிய ராமனை கேட்டு சீதைக்கு ராமன் சித்த பண்ணான்னு கேட்ட கதையா இருக்கு. So all through this time, for the past 1.5 hours, the expertise was telling us என்னென்ன விஷயங்கள் இருக்கும், என்னென்ன ரோல்ஸ் இருக்கும், வெறும் ரெக்ரூட்டிங் மட்டும் இல்லை, எல்ஐடி இருக்கும், அது இருக்கிறது மட்டும் மொத்த ஜேர்னியே சொல்லி முடிச்சுட்டு கடையை சாத்தலான்ற நேரத்துக்கு முதல்ல இருந்து கோட்டெல்லாம் அடிச்சுட்டு முதல்ல இருந்து ஆரம்பிக்கின்றீடா. இவ்வளவு நேரம் அதை பத்தி தானே ஈதர் கொஸ்டின் கேட்டு நானும் கேள்வி கேட்கிறேன். இந்த வடிவேல் ஜெயிலுக்கு போறவங்க நானும் ஜெயிலுக்கு போறேன்னு சொல்ற மாதிரி எந்திரிச்சு என்ன தெரியல. பட் anyhow, it was a good question. இன்னும் ஒரு தடவை இன்னும் பசங்க எத்தனை தடவை கேட்டாலும் we are ready to take classes again. அதே மாதிரி he will also tell you what are the different roles. One second, I'll request him.
Okay. We'll just address the query. What are the HR roles available in the companies? So mainly we'll start with the recruitment, then we'll go for onboarding, then employee relation.
Yes. You basically or because of talking with yourself, you'll not understand anything. Guys, can you have attention please? Alright. So we have come here to give you some experience. Alright? We have been sitting there for a long time in your chair, long back. Alright? Take something serious in terms of if you are looking something for your career, then please be quiet and listen to what people are saying. Otherwise, don't waste your time and our time. Okay? Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So the job roles in HR, it will start with recruitment, then comes to onboarding, then salary processing, then performance management, then you can call it establishment, leave management, other things. Then we have other brackets called learning and development, then HR business partner, mainly the industrial relation, handling the trade unions, disciplinary matters. These are the job roles. Apart from this, we have administration wing call where we manage the canteen, general administration, transport, contract laborers, time office, attendance, all those things. All various roles are available. Compensation and benefits. These are the various job roles, so we can get into the HR field.
Sir, he asked the question for chocolate.
So just a point to add, like he was asking, those are all segments, what else do you do? It is like, it is a tool. So you come to college by bike, but ultimately it is you who's studying. So that's how the role is. You use it, but it is not completely you. It is not, the tool doesn't replace you. So that's about it. Thank you so much.
One last question, ma'am. As sir said that AI going to take over all the things, as sir said that professors are not going to work, the avatars going to work. Is that true? In future it will be like that or not?
Based on your willingness to learn, we can customize things.
Okay, listen. See, that's a good question first of all, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. See, now we are in Chennai. We have sophisticated environment. We have good professors. We have a lot of students to attend. Imagine the villages, right? There are villages where there are no teachers at all. Right? Still the recruitment is struggling to send the professors to the villages. Now I have seen in one of the video that in very outskirts of Tamil Nadu, they are having the artificial intelligence teachers replacing the professors' work. So which means the government is taking some initiative to make the children come to the schools, come to the college by giving an attractive robo, talking to the child so that they will come and sit. In villages, people won't come and sit and they will go for labor work. Right? That's a big transformation you should think of this thing, right? We are not talking about DJ Vaishnava College will have a robot which will replace the professors or students. No, that's not the case. You need to think about the people who are not having the privilege to take it, right? That's how the essence or the AI is going to impact everyone. And the outskirts of Karnataka has implemented it, Kerala implemented it, and Tamil Nadu is implementing it. So imagine tomorrow those people will also come up the radar and they will also apply for HR roles along with you guys. So isn't it diversity? That's exactly what AI is going to do it. Does it answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you once again to our distinguished guests for taking their time to share their invaluable insights with us. Your expertise is truly appreciated and we are grateful for your contribution. Now, I would like to call upon Aishwarya to take over.
I now request our esteemed head in charge Dr. K. Rao Prashant Jyoti sir to felicitate Karpagam ma'am. I would also like to call Renu Kumari ma'am to join the stage. Mr. KP sir to felicitate Somu sir. Mr. SK sir to felicitate Mr. John Cholin sir.
Was informative, impactful, and perfectly with the path of tech advancement. I think the key takeaway is understanding humans is psychological job and always need human element. It also gave us an understanding that person with strong character, ethics, and values are the only people those who can survive in HR roles. Am I right, sir? As we gather here to conclude this inspiring inter-college international HR conclave, it is truly an honor to deliver the valedictory address. What a day it has been. a journey filled with insight, experiences and exposure that have deepened our understanding in the ever-changing world of human resources. Today we have delved into crucial topics such as employee engagement, HR technology, diversity and adaptive leadership. The session have not only brought us a fresh perspective, but also gave us an actionable strategies to address the challenges and opportunities of modern workplace. The theme of the conclave, insight, experience and exposure, beautifully reflects the spirit of our discussion. This event has been more than a platform of discussion. It has been a space to spark ideas, inspire innovation and build connections that will help to shape the better future of HR and beyond. Now I'd like to take some moment and invite the representative of the participating colleges to kindly join the stage for felicitation ceremony. I request Assistant Professor Vasant Jayashilan sir from MSSW to please join the stage. I request David sir and Prashant Jyoti sir to felicitate the professor.
Guys, just camera bloody Dinesh.
I'd like to invite representative from Margarius Arts and Science College. Margarius Arts and Science College. Anyone representative from that college? A representative from St. Thomas Arts and Science College. A representative from MSSW Shift 1 and Shift 2 College. Anyone representative from MSSW, please join the stage for collection of certificates.
That's MSSW. Yeah, for tension
I request a representative from College to join the stage. I request PJ sir to please provide the certificates to them as well. YouTube. As we conclude, I would like to express a heartfelt gratitude to everyone who have made this event a grand success. To our distinguished speakers who have shared their wisdom and experience with us, your insights have been a true inspiring and will stay with us as we move forward in our careers. To organizing committee, your hard work and dedication behind the scenes have made this event seamless and impactful. To our participants, thank you for the enthusiasm and active engagement. Finally, a special thanks to our institution and faculties for their guidance and unwavering support to make this event possible. As we part ways, let's carry forward the knowledge, idea and inspiration we gained today. Wishing you all the success in the future endeavor. Thank you and have a wonderful evening ahead. I'd like everyone to rise for national anthem.